Hey there YouTube, today we'll be doing a final farewell video to the 2008 Chevrolet Cobalt Sport as well as a ownership wrap-up. I'm going to try and get this all in one take. So let's get started. We'll start with the exterior walk around. I bought this car February 22nd, 2019 for a price of $2,900. The vehicle was sold with a valid safety. The vehicle also came riding on Bridgestone Blizzak WS80 winter tires, which were practically brand new when I got the car, and they still are practically brand new since I've only put about 8,500 kilometers on it since that day. Driving in the snow in the winter in this car is it's pretty good. The 4-speed automatic has pretty good gear ratios, and the tires help a lot. I used to have a 2006 Chevrolet HHR LT with the 2.4 liter 4-cylinder. I also had Champiro Ice GT winter tires. That did pretty good. The exterior, this is in the Rally Yellow. This vehicle did have a couple of insurance claims on it, so that's why it looks like brand new. I had a hit and run happen to it on the front fender, as well as it kind of brushed the side of the car, but you can't really see it, and then this is where it ended. So why I'm doing a farewell video is because the insurance company has deemed it as a write-off. The kilometers on the car is sitting at 231,000 nearly, and they just deemed it as a write-off, as well as this front end here. This incident here, I don't know how it happened. Probably vandalism or probably a hit and run. I really don't know. I just came out to the car one day at a Walmart and that happened. When I bought the car did not have as nice of a headlight on the right side. As a left side, the left side was brand new. I guess the claim was like a couple years ago, and they replaced the whole front end on the car. So I went and bought a headlight. The first modification I did was, let's see if they'll go on, are the 6,000 lumen LED headlight kit, which are pretty bright. I did them myself. I did install them. I'll pop the hood here. And I do like that the Cobalt does have strut assisted hood, so that's really nice. Now these headlight kits are plug and play, and they do have a black, I think you call it a ballast or something. And it goes to the headlight bulb and then to the connector to the car or whatever. It's kind of like a converter like this. This is exactly what it is, what it looks like. Yeah, it's pretty easy to take out the headlight with the 10mm bolts, just 2 of them, and you take out the headlight, and it's pretty easy to do, you know. So that's under the hood. It's a bunch of plastic. I did get oil change when I first got it, so, and I just got one actually last week, synthetic. What was it? Pennzoil, I think. Something, I forget. But anyways, got an oil change synthetic last week. I actually had my appointment for the insurance 2 days ago on the 18th. And I did not expect them to deem it as a write-off. I thought I would have been able to keep my car, but anyways, I do have a opportunity to buy the car back once they give me a check for the car. They're gonna appraise it and give me an offer this upcoming week. But yeah, the tires here, they're Bridgestone Blizzak WS80s. These are like the best winter tires. Like, They're like so quiet. They're very efficient. Their best quality is slush. The not so best quality of them is when the roads are wet. That's what I have to say about them. They're quiet, great slush performance. Fresh snow performance is excellent also. It's just that wet performance isn't as good. I did get the windows tinted. 35 in the back, 50 in the front. The car did come with wind deflectors, rain deflectors on the both sides there. What else? Let's take a look at the interior. Now, my ownership with this car, first thing I have to say about the interior, it's creaky. GM did not really build the interior that well on this car, but anyways, it's their second cheapest offering. And also looking at the mileage, it's got over 141,000 miles, but I tend to always wand wash the car myself. I don't use a foam brush. I always dry it myself too with clean microfibers and a what was it, it's kind of like a wiper blade, but it's handheld and it's made by Motor Trend, and you just take all the excess water off the car. And yeah, also the interior I've always kept clean too. It's kind of sad to see the car go. I did spray paint these dash pieces here. They're pretty easy. You just clip off the bottom of the dash here, then you pull them straight out. They're held in by retainers, I think you call them. I don't know. The interior, it's kind of falling apart, whatever. It's an old car. I don't know who had it. Also, there's scratching on the door panel, maybe cheap material there, you know, General Motors stuff. And this just actually just started peeling like this week, so that was pretty crappy. I was actually gonna look at spray painting these yellow, but it's just, why do it when the insurance deemed it as a write-off? But and also another thing with this car, if you're gonna look at one of these cars with high mileage, the latches are pretty sticky. They're unless you just solve them yourself with WD-40. Like sometimes you go close your door and you won't be able to get out sometimes, and you'll have to pull the outside of the door handle to let yourself out. I know it's probably like a high mileage car thing. The seats in the car, I haven't had any problems with them, even on 2-hour road trips. That's as most as I took this vehicle through the ownership. And also they don't really stain, like, because I don't really drink anything when I'm driving, like soda or anything. In the back seat, I've had a couple of people back here, and they haven't complained about how much space there is. I just, like, maybe it's just perfect, I don't know. And I've never used the folding down 60/40 split folding rear seats, but I do find that as a good option to have, I guess, or good equipment. Now this is annoying, and this too, like, you go and try and find your seatbelt, there's nothing to like hold it up to here. I guess maybe Chevy didn't do that, or maybe someone replaced the seatbelt, I don't know. I always wanted to put duct tape on here, but like I always had to deal with it falling getting into the car. But anyways, let's hop on in, start her up. Enough of me blabbing on here. It's already going on to 9 minutes. Anyways, a little bit more of the interior here. See that window tint there? Roll her up a little bit. Now the interior of the Chevrolet Cobalt, as I said, it is creaky. It's probably mostly the back deck lid, and this doesn't really creak, like you can see. It doesn't really creak. It's just mostly the back deck lid, to be honest. The door panel's pretty solid. The dashboard's solid. The This is kind of cheap, but it never creaks. The leather wrap steering wheel on this car is pretty worn out. I haven't had I haven't had the patience or the time to really clean it, but once in a while I do just take soap and water and just with a microfiber just clean it a little bit. But I haven't really done the in-depth cleaning like with the Mr. Clean Magic Eraser like some people do. Now the stereo in this car, I have to talk about that. This is the 7-speaker, I think 228 watt premium sound system, as what I read online. This car has that, and for a Pioneer,
what can 8 weeks do?
Let's see, this one.
Breaky heart. The Jonas Brothers, they know Billy Ray pretty well.
Oh my god. I have to say, it's a pretty good stereo system for this type of car. Bass, excellent. Treble, excellent. Mid-range, awesome. It's never too punchy. It's pretty clear what you're hearing, and it's pretty awesome. I do like the Pioneer. This does have a CD player. I've never had an issue with that. I always play my CD in there. Climate control, the bulb is burnt out on this part. So I've never really looked at getting one at the junkyard because there's really no reason. Car's going anyways. The shifter in this car, okay, now I have to complain about this. If you have an aux cord, say this, and you don't want it like all the way over there. So I had an idea to like maybe put it around the shifter, maybe shorten it a little bit so it's not so long, you know. But as you can see, it gets stuck in here. Like even the cord to charge my phone, when I have a 12-volt outlet plugged into there or in here like I do now, cords will get jammed in the shifter here, and it's really annoying. It's like the only way to take them out is drop it into neutral, and there your cord's free. But yeah, like I know Chevy did make a shift boot for the Cobalts, but maybe mine just wasn't in that year. The armrest, it's kind of soft touch, but not really. I just keep a bunch of receipts in there. That's just my receipt thing. The parking brake never worked in this car, like just never worked. But it didn't bother me because I don't need to use it. Anyways, up top you do have a manually dimming rear view mirror. I wish this car had an auto dimming mirror with the compass and not the OnStar, because the OnStar in this car is outdated. So the visors, I've only used them this way because it's pretty pathetic to use them if you're going this way, because like look how short that is and look how big the window is, and they don't extend. That sucks. I don't think the driver one extends. Like maybe it does, like I never tried it. No, they don't extend, so that's another thing that sucked about this car. What else? Glove box space, I mean, it's decent. Keep my insurance, keep some air freshener, and you know, it's decent glove box size. Yeah, I don't really know what else to talk about. I've never sat in the back seat of my own car, but I haven't had any complaints about the size of the back seat. That pretty much wraps it up for the interior. Yeah, like seats are comfy. I like the. Okay, actually, next we have the driving experience. I'll talk a little bit about the driving experience with this car. The steering is electric assisted power steering, so it's pretty easy to steer. The brakes are 4-wheel disc brakes on this car, on the sport model. It's pretty good modulation on the brakes, the gas pedal. I question this car if it has a tune on it. Like, I'm just not like saying that because the gas is pretty touchy and the engine is really responsive. I always question this car if it had a tune or not. I don't know if it does, but that's the gas is definitely there. Very touchy. The brakes are decent. Don't know if this car ever had any brake work. Steering is good. Parallel parking in this car is really easy. Blind spot checks are really easy too because of the large windows. Winter driving in this car is pretty easy too if you have a good set of tires like this. And I really want to keep this car for summer because, like, look at that color. It's a rally yellow Chevy Cobalt. I've only seen about 2 or 3 other ones and they are wrecked. Like, these cars rust at the bottom of the doors. I don't know if it's starting on this one. No, not really. Just a little bit of paint chipping, but yeah, this car's got 231,000 kilometers, which translates to almost 142,000 miles. Yeah, like, also, this car still gets a lot of compliments too. Like, people call it Bumblebee Junior or Transformers or something like that, and it's pretty funny. I guess because of the color and the Chevy. The trunk, wouldn't want to open that. It's got a bunch of microfibers in it and cleaning products. Decent trunk space. I've never had really anything in it besides cleaning stuff. The mirrors are pretty decent size for the car. Mirror visibility is pretty good. What else? I guess that's it. Acceleration wise, this car will get to 60 maybe in about 9 seconds. But generally the speed limit in rural city over here is 50 kilometers per hour or 60 kilometers per hour. And first gear switches into second at about 60 kilometers an hour. So you really hit the speed limit really in the first gear. So what can I say? It's a 4-cylinder. But anyways, I think that pretty much wraps it up. If you guys ever have any questions about this car, let me know. Thanks.